I'm Chris Hayes, a relief pitcher with the Blue Crabs, and I'm from Chicago, Illinois.
Now, the first question, because most people who are going to be watching this video may have had the pleasure of seeing you pitch.
Okay.
You have an unusual delivery, to say the least. Is this just always the way you've pitched, or how did you develop this delivery, this style?
I guess it stemmed just from mediocrity in the overhand style. I'd always wanted to be a pitcher. I always loved baseball, loved pitching, but I guess I was really never that great when I was throwing overhand. I didn't throw all that hard. And when I got to college, I tried out for my college team and didn't make it as a pitcher, got cut. So tried out as a position player and got lucky and made the team as a position player, and then made the team the next couple of years. In my senior year, we needed help in our bullpen. And so I told my coach that, I naturally had a lower arm slot, so what if I just try, dropping down and maybe try going to the bullpen, throwing at a lower arm slot, and that was in 2005. And since then, I've just been working on it and kind of gotten lower and lower, and now I'm at the point where I'm scraping my knuckles all the way underneath.
But even as a knuckle scraper, you have that sort of little hesitation that you don't necessarily see.
Yeah.
How did that come about? It's a balance thing, and it's got to throw off the hitter's timing even more.
Yeah, that's the idea, and just throwing as slow as I do. I probably throw, what did Chapman hit, 105? So I throw 30 miles an hour slower than that. You got to do different stuff to mess up guys' timing, I guess. And one of the things I've been messing around with, like you said, was I'll kick my knee up like I'm about to pitch and just kind of pause there and hold it for a second. And just try to do that because hitters, a lot of times have sort of timing mechanisms to try to time when the pitch is coming, and I figure if I can throw off that timing, it'll give me a little bit of an edge that I might need.
And still come over the top occasionally.
Yes, and I still come over the top occasionally. I've actually just started that since I got here to the Blue Crabs. I just started coming up over the top. Before I was pretty much exclusively from underneath, and now I'm working on stuff from the side and up overhand just to give it a little bit more variety.
Now you joined the team very end of July,
Mm-hmm.
and I believe in your somewhere in the next couple of outings did something that you have never done as a pro before. Well, I don't know if you want to share that experience with us.
What was it?
Start.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Duh.
Yeah, right. Duh.
I can't remember which outing it was, but yeah, one of my very first outings. You're right. Wow, time flies. It was the first and only time I've ever started. I joke with people that when I was in college, I was a backup position player, and so throughout my career, I actually started at every position except for pitcher. And so this was my first opportunity since high school. I guess it was probably 2000, maybe 2001 was the last time I had started as a pitcher, and it was pretty interesting. It was just different, the timing of normally you get the sign and you got to go get ready really quick, and sort of the adrenaline carries you into the game. And in this situation, kind of all afternoon, it was like, well, the next thing that's coming up is me on the mound. So it was a little bit different in that regard, and I struggled a little bit in the first inning, but it was something I enjoyed, and something it was fun to get some extra innings that way.
Now you've pitched a couple of really long outings. A 4 2/3, a 6-inning outing. How does it? Once you're in there, how does it differ to be doing, say, a 6-inning relief stint versus, say, a 6-inning start, or does it?
I guess you could argue both ways. It's probably just sort of a perception thing. Depends on how you look at it. And you could say every at bat, is exactly the same. There's a batter in the box, and you're 60 feet 6 inches away, and you're just trying to make good pitches and get the guy out. Or you could look at it as it's a whole different. Just physically, it's sort of a different task in the amount of exertion and how long it's spread out over. But I would say, I kind of like that. I've had a chance to do both. I guess it probably adds some versatility to my arsenal, and it's I like both. I like pitching in late innings when the crowd's on their feet and that kind of stuff, and coming in a big situation. At the same time, I'm a pitcher because I like pitching, so I like to pitch as much as I can, and the longer outings have given me that opportunity.
What kind of a goal had you set, or what was what were you looking for when you came here to Southern Maryland from after being released by the Royals? Which, by the way, I will say this on the record, they're crazy.
I would say my goal was to throw 95.
Did you meet that?
Not yet.
Combined.
Not yes, maybe combined. Back-to-back pitches, I probably hit 95. No, yeah, my goal was. I guess I didn't really have anything all that concrete. Just I wanted to get as many innings as I could. I hadn't had the opportunity to throw as much as I would have liked to start the year, so I didn't have as many innings as I wanted. And obviously, you're always working on stuff and trying to get better. So I wanted to get as many opportunities to get out there and throw as much as possible. And it's been great being here. And we've got an awesome bullpen, really experienced and just really, really good guys. So it's been a fun time with that, and had the opportunity to throw a lot. And more than anything else, one thing I'm taking away from the experience here is just how much fun it is. It's really a blast. Baseball is always fun because I always say that it's the best office in the world is to get to go to a baseball field for work. But especially here, just the characters on the team and Butch and everybody's just been awesome, and even the fans have been great here, and it's been a really good experience.
So now, we're going to talk a little more general stuff of what accomplishments in your life, and it can be on or off the field, are you proud of?
I would say finding somebody to marry me is probably up there.
Mrs. Disco's pretty amazing.
Mrs. Disco, yeah, she's outstanding. That would be a big one. I'm trying to think. Getting the opportunity to play professional baseball was something I kind of had always wanted to do. Even playing at the collegiate level, there weren't really a whole lot of colleges looking at me. There were a lot of smaller schools, and getting the opportunity to play in the Big Ten, which isn't necessarily a baseball powerhouse, but it's still Division I baseball. So just making opportunities and trying to make the most out of them, and see where they go, and just I guess just kind of sticking with it and staying with it for the long haul, and hopefully good things come out of it.
Well, sharing a home with a Northwestern graduate myself, what are the schools were you looking for? Why Northwestern? What made you?
Well, both my parents went there, and being from Chicago, I was always a really big Northwestern fan. I didn't have good reason to be because they were always particularly bad. I was a really big fan in the early '90s when the football team was really bad, and anyway, so I just, everything I owned was purple for Northwestern. And so when I graduated high school, obviously it's a great school, and it wasn't too far down the road. And, I'd been to a couple baseball camps and that kind of stuff, so I knew the coach, and I was able to, have the opportunity to try out and walk on, and ended up working out great.
What do you think you'd be doing if you weren't playing baseball?
I really have no idea. People ask me that all the time. I'd like to think that I would have a decent job somewhere. I have, an education, I guess, to fall back on, but that seems so far in the past at this point that I can't even put two and two together there. I really don't know what I would do. I majored in computer science, probably something in computers. A lot of guys. It wasn't
like it was the day of the Atari.
Well,
it wasn't that long ago. The trash 80.
Yeah, right. It seems like it, though. It does.
Everyone's got a hidden talent.
Okay.
Do you think you are all yours kind of out there, or
man,
there'll be a hidden talent?
How about this? I'm gonna go a hidden lack of talent. How's that?
Okay.
That's fair. I can't burp.
At all.
At all.
Don't you just implode,
I
won't
can't.
Even,
I can't burp. If I drink anything carbonated, I just imagine having to burp and not being able. That's what I feel like. It feels terrible.
So no carbonation.
No carbonation.
No
all
beer?
The way through. No beer. I had probably a quarter of an inch of a beer in my entire life, and it was when the Red Sox won the World Series because my roommate was a huge Red Sox fan, and he poured everybody at the table that was watching, just a tiny bit of beer, and I was about to say no, and then I thought, well, once every 86 years, I guess I'll take it. So I did it.
That's amazing. Have you ever had that checked out?
I did. I went and talked to a doctor, and I can't even repeat what he said because I think I caught him off guard, and he dropped an expletive on me because he was so shocked. No joke, true story.
I'm kind of speechless here.
Yeah, so was I.
Okay. That might have actually answered my next question, which is to complete this sentence, it would surprise people to know that I...
How about this? I used to play chess.
All right.
There may be people that
know.
What do you
say used to? Do you still play? Do you get to?
Occasionally, 2 off seasons ago, I played in a tournament in Chicago, which was kind of fun because I saw some people that I recognized, but the last time they had seen me was probably 10 years prior, and I was less than half the size. So that was kind of neat. I don't really play a whole lot aside from against a computer or online or something like that. But even that, I don't really play a whole lot.
Guiltiest TV pleasure?
Man, guiltiest TV. I'll go Jersey Shore. I don't really watch a whole lot of TV, but I've been known to linger in a room if that's on.
If you could change places with one person for one day, who would it be?
That's a good question. I would say I would probably go like somebody who's this is good. Somebody who like has their PhD in physics or something, because I've never understood like certain branches of physics. I took a class in college, like electricity and magnetism, and it, for whatever reason, just conceptually nothing. So I'm gonna stick with the dork route, chess, and that kind of stuff, and the computer science, and I'm gonna go somebody who understands that. I don't know why, but that popped in my head, so I'm gonna go with that, because I would love to understand that kind of stuff.
And finally, who is the most unusual character you have met in your playing career?
Oh man, so many left-handed pitchers to go through right now. One time I answered this question with a different left-handed pitcher, and Everett Tiford took a lot of offense to it. So I'm gonna go Everett Tiford just to appease him. He's the lefty with the Royals, and he's a character. I mean, you could any left-hander in the bullpen for the most part to stereotype, and it's a pretty fair assessment. The most left-handed pitcher. I mean, another guy who sticks out is Tim Hamulak from Lancaster. Played with him for 2 years. Awesome guy, but he's pretty eclectic as well. He's an interesting character.
Awesome.